Hello, friends. Robert Pevin here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we are talking about the feat Divinely Favored.
Yes, this is another one of those feats from the new book Shadow of the Dragon Queen.
New,
This
depending on
is
when you're listening to this or watching it.
yeah, well, I mean that book will still always exist, but it'll be new is going to be the subjective part, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but this is for everyone who, well, not everyone. This is for the characters that aren't from the fighter paladin sorcerer wizard classes. They can take this as kind of like a new little feat ish. It requires the Dragonlance campaign setting. I think it's available in a background, but you shouldn't allow it to be in a background. If you're outside of the Dragonlance campaign, this is a perfectly reasonable spell. Like I said, with all the rest of these, perfectly reasonable feat. You can take this and not have any real issue with it. Want to just jump into it?
Well, wait a second. You said it's for specific classes?
It's the one that isn't for specific classes. So the
Oh,
fighter, the Squire of Solamnia is for fighter paladin.
okay.
The Initiate of High Sorcery is for wizard sorcerer. This is kind of like a catch-all for everyone else if you want to be
Okay.
divinely associated.
All right, that's fine. I just, I was misunderstood. I was rereading the spell, the feat description. I didn't see anything about that. So, yes, on the same page.
Yes. So this requires you be 4th level. It requires you be in a Dragonlance game, but you can kind of waive that one most of the time. A god chose you to carry and spark their power. You learn one cantrip of your choice from the cleric spell list, and one 1st level spell based on the alignment of your character, as specified in the alignment spells table below. You also learn the augury spell. So evil gives you a warlock spell of 1st level of your choice. Good gives you a cleric 1st level spell of your choice, and neutral gives you a druid 1st level spell of your choice. So you basically you get a cleric cantrip always, and then evil, good, or neutral gives you warlock, cleric, druid 1st level spell of your choice, and you always get the augury spell. You can cast the chosen 1st level spell in augury without using a spell slot until you finish a long rest. You can cast them again, so you get basically a free spell slot for a long rest. Excuse me, for warlock, your 1st level spell and your augury spell. You can also cast these spells using slots you have the appropriate level for, meaning they're baller on full casters. Your spellcasting ability for this feat includes, or it is intelligence, wisdom, or charisma chosen. You choose whenever you pick the feat. So if you're already like
Oh,
a bard and you want a cleric spell, you can pick charisma, and everything will work with charisma for you. In addition, you can use a holy symbol as a spellcasting focus for any spell you cast using these whenever you choose this selected feat. So if you're like, let's think, a fighter and you pick this up, or a rogue and you pick this up, you can use your spellcasting focus will be a holy symbol. This is pretty neat. I think this is pretty novel. Very like we compared Initiative High Sorcery to an Magic Initiate. This is draw similar comparisons. What are your initial impressions?
um, I think, did I say this with Initiate of High Sorcery? It feels like a more limited version of Magic Initiate, but I guess depending on if you want a particular spell that's not available through Magic Initiate, then maybe better. I don't know. It depends on what your goals for the character are, I suppose.
I
And
yeah, I
I mean,
I
we
pretty low
both know
stakes.
my feelings on Augury. Yeah. So,
Yeah, Augury is not a spell that I'm ever that excited to pick up. It's normally going to be like a hey DM, is this plan a bad idea? And the DM can be like, yes, this you're being very stupid right now. Stop it. And then other times
no, I'm
it'll
doing
be
it
other
anyway.
That's what stupid plans are for, is to get an action and have bad things happen to the party. That's half the fun of D&D in my opinion. But an Augury, it's still, I think, even regardless of us not being that all for it, I definitely have seen the spell play fine. I've definitely seen the spell be a neat roleplay tool for characters that are built around like ancestral guardians, or characters that are built around sort of being one with nature or one with their god or whatever. You can get a specific feel for it that works pretty well, I think, at some groups.
And we have had a couple of commenters saying that they like Augury, and good for
Yes,
you.
exactly. It's not the worst spell on planet Earth. You had it as your worst cleric spell for 2nd levels, right? And I'm like, I don't think it's that bad, but it's fine. I think the right tables will make good use of it, and the wrong tables will find it to be useless. And that's not normally like a ranking endorsement of any spell or ability, but that's where we are with Augury. As far as like 1st level spells of your choice, of the 3 lists, Warlock, Cleric, Druid, which are you most excited to pick up?
Oh, probably, yeah.
It's
I
kind of
want to,
tough.
yeah, I
These
want to
are
say
these are all a little
Warlock
bit.
just for an extra Eldritch Blast. I mean, that's if I'm a fighter and I don't feel like getting up, just
It's not a cantrip,
but
so you're always
oh,
getting a cleric cantrip.
Eldritch Blast is a cantrip. All
Yeah,
right. Oh, well,
it
probably,
makes it harder.
yeah. Let's see. Let me check those out again.
I think
Warlock, cleric, or druid? No
yeah,
wizard.
No
or
wizard's a
sorcerer.
big bummer here. No wizard
Yeah.
sorcerer is like, oh, there aren't a lot of great options. For clerics, you can like take bless with this. That seems fine. You could take detect magic is fine. You can't cast it as a ritual spell though, so like the ritual spells get a little bit worse with this. If you go warlock, you can get access to like hex, and hex is great on martial
Hex is
builds.
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I could definitely see this being something you take alongside, like you're playing a more evil, or maybe again, I think the word evil is like the your domain is within the typical evil spectrum. So I think you can still play good characters and find that you can take the warlock spell options, as in like I am in dealings with fiends, I am in dealings with demons or whatever, and have that be a non-strictly murder everything capital E evil, but more so maybe you're like looking to bring the war against them in a higher front. Maybe you're looking to make demons and devils kill themselves more aggressively. There's ways to play it that isn't capital E evil. So I think you could have access to it on some of the characters, but
There's some good options for druid.
druid's
Like you
interesting ones for
mentioned,
you.
they got detect magic. There's also charm person,
Mhm.
entangle.
I think Entangle's a neat one, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I'm trying to think. I mean, like you said, it could be for anyone. I'm picturing, a non-magic user wanting to pick this up. So I'm thinking fighter, and how will this enhance my fighting? But that's,
mhm.
yeah, I'm limiting myself there with that train of thought. But
Well, I mean, like Fog Cloud fits into a lot of those builds. I think Healing Word too.
healing word. If you don't have
It's a great one to pick up.
a cleric in the party, that's handy.
I think Goodberry's also like equivalent, if not a little bit better than Healing Word on a lot of those options, just because it gives you a bunch of ways to get people off of zero. So it becomes like it becomes close to like a lay on hands that you're picking up here, which is pretty great. I
Yeah,
think
but
Thief Rogues love
if
that,
you're in the
right?
middle of a fight, which is when you want healing word, you don't want to like be dispensing good berries.
That's again, ideally you've got a wizard with a familiar, and then you double up, or you got like an animal companion or something. You don't want
Yeah.
to have to take the action to do that, and if you have a way to get something else to take a more useless action instead, that's better. So again, familiars tend to be the go-to route. Like if you're a wizard and you want to pick this up, you can take Goodberry with this and give it to your familiar, and it becomes a lot better. Because then you just have like 5 free-ish uses of healing word as opposed to 1. But if for the characters out, I think healing word's still a great option. I even like jump. I think jump's an underrated little spell. I think it's going. Oh, excuse me. Like jumping 30 feet at a time is huge. You can do some pretty cool exploration stuff with that, especially on martial characters that want to feel like a monk picking up jump with Step of the Wind. You'll just catapult yourself across huge distances. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah, anyone with a already high strength score, yeah.
Um, but you keep going on. I think clerics are probably the worst. But also you get like healing words, pro, good, and evil. Shield of Faith is fine. Detect magic is fine. Bless is fine. There are a good chunk of lists of
Now,
stuff here.
but are all these spells we're talking about, are all of these not available with Magic Initiate?
They're all available with Magic Initiate.
Well then, that changes things.
Yes. They aren't also available with spell slots, and they don't necessarily come with augury. I think almost any cantrip that you're going to get is going to be better than augury. So, like, maybe if you don't, I don't think you should be taking this with the expectation of getting it for augury. I would do it with the expectation of I'm a half caster and I can use this with my spell slots, or I'm a full caster and I can use this with my spell slots that I otherwise couldn't. The ones that stand out really to me are healing word, like being able to be a warlock, maybe not warlock, being able to be a artificer or a ranger or paladin. And I don't know if paladin's healing word. Someone that doesn't get healing word that is half caster or full caster, getting healing word as spell slots means you not only have the free use of it, but you have the bonus action use of it, or the bonus spell cast use of it, or the regular spell slot use of it as well. That makes it, I think, modally better.
What about non-casters?
Better. Non-casters, I think, have a lot worse of a time justifying it over Magic Initiate, just because, like, it really is. Like, you're limited to cleric cantrips, which means you're basically just taking guidance. That's fine, I guess. If you already have guidance in the party, you don't need more guidance in the party. So, like, if you have a cleric or druid, you don't need this. The other options you get are like Reward of Radiance or Resistance or Toll the Dead or like Light. And I don't think any of those are good reasons to take this. If it let you get the classes cantrip, at least you could get Druid and Warlock cantrips with this, but you'd be like Thorn Whip, which is kind of interesting. It could give you, like you specified earlier, Eldritch Blast is like the most interesting of the damage options, even though it's not that good on its own.
Yeah,
There could be like other ways to go about it, but just being cleric cantrip means you're in a tough position to really want to take this. I think if you're knocking the spell slots, I don't think you take this over Magic Initiate basically ever. If you're a rogue or fighter, you don't ever take this. You just take Magic Initiate.
Yeah. If you even want that. But
yeah.
Have we beat this to death, or is there anything else to talk about here?
We could say we don't want to take augury again, because that's like, I think that's like the bulk of the reason why this is bad, is they're like, augury's a second level spell. This is an upgrade over magic initiate because you get augury instead of a cantrip. And augury is worse than a cantrip 95% of the time. Augury is worse than mage hand. Augury is worse than like mending. I think is better than augury is as far as like actual utility to the table. All of you're going to have a better cantrip option regardless of your class pick for magic initiate than this. So if you aren't getting spell slot usages out of your first level spell, if you're not like an Eldritch Knight fighter picking up hex with this, you really have no business being anywhere near this. I think like maybe the Eldritch Knight / Arcane Trickster third caster build, so they get very few spell slots. They might like this as getting an expanded spell because it gives them long duration ones. I think like Arcane Trickster in particular really likes picking up hex with this because it means they're still scaling their sneak attack damage and they're getting extra dice on top of that, and they're playing safely and maintaining that concentration really easily, and they can cast it using the spells they're already using and they can't otherwise get it. That seems like all like it comes into a neat little package in a one very specific niche option. Beyond that, outside of it, not Magic Initiate. It's just going to be better.
Yeah, generally speaking, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was. We got a rating for this?
I think this is a middle of the road 3. I don't think there's any. I think this is worse than Magic Initiate, which I think is one of the best feats in the game. But the reason Magic Initiate is so good is the flexibility. It's what we always come back to, and that normally comes down to getting wizard spells. But like. On the vast majority of characters, you can take this and be like, that was fine. On the full casters, you'll be like, this is kind of baller. This gives me a free extra use of a spell slot. I'm here for that. It's not better than Shadow Touched. It's not better than like 95% of the other feats that give spells. It's still perfectly serviceable, though, giving you a spell that you're often going to want. And for that reason, it's fine.
Yeah, with so many other better, more flexible options, I'm going to give it a 2. I mean, this, if none of those existed, this, might be a 4, but they do.
Yeah, within context, it makes this feel a lot worse.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was Divinely Favored. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it. A gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.